Hey everybody, I'm on Dustin. Welcome back in the mosh pit, and I'm just doing my week 2 update video on where I am as a casual gamer playing this game. It's funny, casual in this game is quite an undertaking because I do stream in the morning, so 3 hours I get to play in the early morning. I stream pretty early. And then throughout the day, I can play maybe another hour, possibly 2 hours. So 5 hours a day is casual, which is wild for this game. But that's where I'm at. So, and then on the weekends, I play a little bit again in the morning. I try to sleep in on the weekends. So that's the hours I'm playing. And man, has the RNG been rough. I am enjoying this league. I do like the league mechanics for the lantern. I do not enjoy the crafting, and mainly because I made some mistakes, which I can show you that real quick before we get into where I'm at currently. I made some mistakes with the crafting and have been kind of stuck there, just gathering graves, because I put in this right here, very first grave in this craft was a Veruso. And I didn't realize that this named person, the Verusos, you can see I have three of them here on the screen, Claudia, Fausta, and Titiana. Titty here was the first one that went in, and that is to create a unique item. You need 4 of these people, these named Veruso family, and I, RNG, can't find another. I've gotten multiple titties. I've gotten multiple Faustas. Can't seem to get whatever the 4th Veruso person is. So this craft that I was building, I didn't realize until I got through to craft it that it was going to craft a unique item and that I could get something maybe cool. Who knows? I really don't know. And it's possible that this Veruso level needs to be like only crafted from lower level stuff. I don't really even know what the item is. I have tried not to look it up. So anyway, so all these graves here have been filled because I got to that point where I was like, well, crap. Okay, well, I'll just wait, right? Well, now I can't really do the other crafts because they're taking up the slots. And so instead I've just been I filled up my graveyard or mortuary pretty quick, and then I've got multiple tabs just waiting for when I can find this Veruso person, craft this, whatever it is, probably garbage, and then try again. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. It's been frustrating because I'm like, I see Veruso drop, and I'm like, ooh, and it's always the wrong Veruso. Speaking of RNG, Rog here has gotten me one, I think, good item. I was able to swap out this amulet here that I got from Rog. Still not the greatest amulet, but because it has the increased area damage, and then I can bump on damage while leeching, that made this better than the amulet I was wearing, and pretty much almost doubled my damage. Still haven't been able to get a better shield than this one, even though this has the minus spell suppression. I have found, I think, a better helmet. I found this. That might have also been Rog, but I'm still struggling to get the rest of this gear replaced. And that's really probably the biggest thing holding me back is gear, because I don't have enough health or armor to be able to run Righteous Fire, which I just turned on this week. Let's get over here. Also, RNG, I have in my Atlas spec'd into Expedition, and also spec'd into having Rog and Tujin be the 90% and 90%. So I should not be seeing Gwyn and Danig, but I see them so much. And it's so frustrating when I get into a map and it's one of those two, and I'm like, dude, I'll still run it because whatever. I want to play the game, and so I get their currency, but I don't like the gambling thing. Danig is semi-okay because you can trade his stuff in for other people's currency. But yeah, that's been a little bit frustrating to have so many Gwynens. And I'm not sure why, because I spec'd away from her. I think maybe because I hadn't gone into click her exclamation mark in the regular campaign. So I went back and I did that and went through her dialogue, and I was like, okay, maybe she'll show up less now because she doesn't want to talk to me, because I was just ignoring her and running past for a while. So yeah, that's where that's at. Skills wise, I have started using some other things. I want to switch some stuff around, so I started testing some skills. I went with this ice bite support because I thought, okay, it's going to give me extra frenzy on killing enemies. That'd be nice to get some extra frenzy charges, but it hasn't really been very useful. And watching the frenzy charges pop up, they're just not great. So I want to switch this out for something else. I forget what I had. I switched also the crit strike support, because really my crit strike chance was pretty bad. So I put here under Reap, I got crit strike support. I would like actually to have crit modifiers on some gear instead, and so I could switch this out, but for now I'm using that. I got one to drop that was at 10% already, and so I thought, oh, okay, well, I'll just use that. So I've been doing better with my damage. The problem is my survivability is pretty ass. I also stopped using my my flame golem and instead switched out to righteous fire and increased area of effect for righteous fire. And then I'm using life tap with holy flame totem and with righteous fire, and that, I feel like the damage has been awesome, but again, righteous fire is a little dangerous when you're using gear that is such crap and you are not you don't have enough fire protection. My fire res right now is 93, which isn't bad, but when you're using righteous fire, I feel like my fire res needs to be up higher than that to overcap it. But yeah, I just started messing around with righteous fire. The build that I was kind of looking at to use as a base, I really had tried to do it all on my own, but I really was struggling. So I started looking at what he was doing, and righteous fire was one of the things. So unfortunately, instead of just doing it 100% learning on my own, I've started relying a little bit more on the guide. But up until this point, doing it, most of the stuff that I've been learning here on my own has been very helpful and fun. But I'm getting to the point now where really it's just gear. I can see my resistances wise. My chaos resistance is still at 57, which is a little rough. I would love to have that up and capped. My armor, though, pretty decent. 31,000 armor right now, mainly because I took the passive tree that gives me the any armor that has evasion turns into armor. So all my all my evasion is turning into armor. So anything that has evasion on it also is basically counted towards armor. But you can see, like with this 6-link, it's hard to pull away from this 6-link and not use a 6-link. So but I really need to start swapping that out. I have some things here in my stash waiting. I've got some. This one here is item level 84, so it's a good base for straight armor. And I know when I was playing Bone Shatter, this Majestic Plate, I got it pretty high. Also, the other thing that I have noticed is that I'm not getting that many of see, I don't have any right now of the Eldritch balls in here, whatever they're called. I've gotten some lessers, and so I've applied these. You can see that my gear has them applied to that, but not the greatest. I would love to have a whole bunch more of those, and they're just not dropping, and I'm not really sure why. I have been doing some farming, but not into I think it's Breach, that does that. So I haven't done a ton of breach stuff. Anytime I see one of those little green guys on the map, that'll run around and give me the abyss. That's not breach, abyss. The abyss stuff, I have just I don't know. I've not been super lucky on my farming as a whole, but still having fun. Current level 88. Hoping to get to 90 this week and started getting into red maps once I get into better gear. Not sure yet. I think I've done one red map on accident. Yeah, this one here was I ran it because it was a level 6 Atlas quest, which was really bizarre. I got it as an Atlas quest. Of course, it didn't, because it wasn't corrupted and rare. It didn't count on the tree to give me a point, but it has been run. And really, I just would like to get in here so I can get a little bit more of my Atlas points, finish up red maps, and I'll feel like, you know what, this build got me to there. It's definitely not going to get me to fighting any of the big bosses. I doubt I'm even going to be able to get any of the stones here. But having fun playing it, and, you know, with new games coming out soon, I've got the No Rest for the Wicked coming up this week, and I feel like if that game hits for me, like I know it will, I probably will be pulling away from this league and playing more of that. But where are you at with this league? I'd like to know what you feel. If you wanted to take a look, let me just run through what I've got going on here real quick. If you wanted to give me any advice, thank you so much for the people on the last video that chimed in with some helpful advice. It really helped me kind of think of some things like this Ice Bite support. I swapped it out from Sadism, I think it was. And I'm also going to be swapping it out when I can recolor this stuff. I've tried to recolor it so I could get 3 blues, 1 green, and 2 reds. Man, that's a little bit rough on the currency. You can see I've started building up my chromatic orbs to get it back up there. But yeah, it's been a little hard to get a specific color set like that. And this armor, being that it's not what I really want, it's hard for me to spend money on it. But what I've got here, I've got Determination, Pride, and War Banner. Those ones I'm using pretty much all the time. I've also got Frostblink, which is my movement skill. Malevolence I use when I just want to do straight damage from mapping, and then I'll switch over to what is it? Determination. So I swap between Malevolence and Determination since I don't have enough mana to do both. The Determination is great for keeping me protected during a boss since I don't have very good gear. Then I've got Righteous Fire with Life Tap and Increased Area of Effect, and I've got Holy Flame Totem also linked with Life Tap. Doing pretty good there. For my Reap, I've got Reap with Val Reap. That dropped early in the campaign, and I've been so lucky to have that. Increased Critical Strike, Ice Bite, which I want to swap out. Added Fire Damage, Efficacy, and Swift Affliction. And then I've got Exsanguinate with Unleash, Brutality, and Chain. I would like to put Unleash back. I think I had Unleash on here instead of Crit Strike, so that's why I wanted to have the other blue so I could have Unleash here. I felt like that helped have spawning more Reaps, even if they're doing a little bit less damage. Having multiple really helped on that, and I liked the look of it. Just that's also, you know, something in the game is the look and the feel of something. If it looks stupid, sometimes you go, man, this does a lot of damage. God, it looks goofy. Lastly, here on my boots, I've got flammability. So I had some mana issues where my cast when damage taken, I didn't realize, and Path of Building told me, and I finally looked at the warnings there, because a lot of times I ignore those warnings, that I did not have enough mana. So I went back into my passive tree and took this here to get a little bit more intelligence and get my mana back where it needed to be. And now my cast when damage taken is doing Molten Shell, vulnerability, and flammability. So the Molten Shell is is protecting me. The vulnerability is cursing the enemies, and the flammability is making everybody more flammable, so that righteous fire can burn them more, and the reap that has the added fire damage can do more fire damage. So with all that, look at the path of building here, or no, not this building. If everything's clicking and everything's on, I'm doing 820 DPS, which I would love to be at 1 million or 2 million even. If I had all my gear that was like this, where it had the increased area damage, or it had dot multi, something like that, which not everything has. Increased spell damage is pretty much the only thing, and cast speed, only thing really helping me out. But I don't have a whole lot of dot multi because, like I said, my RNG has been pretty ass. Yeah, just it's not been great. So yeah, all my gear itself is just, it's meh at best. 10% movement speed has also been something that's been kind of a bummer. I would love to have more, like a 20 or 25 movement speed. It still feels a little slow. So anyway, that's the build. That's where I'm at. Thanks for watching. If you're all the way at this part of the video and you watched all of it, I really appreciate it. This is just for me to, just show you what I'm doing. Oh, last thing I forgot to mention, I did set up my flasks. They are all used when charges reach full, and that helps me out quite a bit. This one here is used when I start bleeding. It turns this on and helps me with any blood mess that might come up. So anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.